Did you know what? The only part of the body that has no blood supply is the cornea of the eye. Oxygen is obtained directly from the air. Human brain capacity exceeds 4 terabytes. Up to 7 months a child can breathe and swallow simultaneously. Our skull consists of 29 different bones. The nervous impulse from the brain moves at a speed of 170 m/h. One human brain generates more electrical impulses for one day than all the phones in the world combined. The average human body contains enough sulfur to kill all the fleas on the average dog, carbon, to make 900 pencils, potassium, to shoot from a toy cannon, fat, to make 7 pieces of soap, and enough water to fill a barrel in 13 gallons, 50 liters. The heart of man pumps 48 million gallons, 182 million liters, of blood for his life. 50,000 cells in your body die and are replaced with new ones while you are reading this sentence. The embryo acquires fingerprints at the age of 3 months. A man named Charles Osborne hiccuped for 68 years. Right-handed people live on average 9 years longer than left-handed people. A person forgets 90% of his dreams. The total length of blood vessels in the human body is about 62,000 miles, 100,000 kilometers. In spring, the respiratory rate is on average 1/3 more than in the autumn. By the end of life, a person remembers an average of 150 trillion bits of information. 80% of the heat of the human body goes out of the head. The feeling of thirst appears when water loss is equal to 1% of body weight. Loss of more than 5% can lead to fainting, and more than 10% to death from dehydration. On average, a 4-year-old child asks 450 questions a day. Unique fingerprints besides people have also koalas. Only 1% of bacteria cause ailments in humans. The tooth is the only part of the human body that is incapable of self-healing. The right-hander chews most of the food on the right side of the jaw, the left-hander on the left. In the world, only 7% of lefties. The length of the hair on the head, which a person grows on average during his life, is 450 miles. Among people who can move their ears, only 1/3 can move one ear. The total weight of bacteria living in the human body is 4 lb. 99% of all calcium in the human body is in the teeth. The lips of a person are hundreds of times more sensitive than the fingertips. A real kiss increases the pulse to a frequency of 100 or more beats per minute. The absolute strength of the masticatory muscles on one side is 430 pounds. During the kiss from one person to another, 278 different bacterial cultures are transmitted. Fortunately, 95% of them are not dangerous. Parthenophobia is the fear of virgins. If you collect all the iron contained in the human body, you will only get a small screw for the clock. A kiss of sufficient duration is much better than chewing gum. It normalizes the acidity in the oral cavity. Striking your head against the wall, you can lose 150 calories per hour. If one of the identical twins does not have one or another tooth, as a rule, the same tooth is absent from the other twin. The surface area of human lungs is approximately equal to the area of the tennis court. On average, a person spends 2 weeks kissing for life. At blondes, the beard grows faster than at brunettes. The strongest muscle in the human body is the tongue. Nails on the fingers grow about 4 times faster than on the toes. People with blue eyes are more sensitive to pain than others. In the human brain, 100,000 chemical reactions occur within 1 second. Children are born without kneecaps. They appear only at the age of 2 to 6 years. A human being is the only representative of the animal world capable of drawing straight lines. During the life of a person's skin changes about 1,000 times. There are dimples on the back of each person, only with someone they are apparent, but in others less noticeable. The dimples are located where the pelvis fuses with the sacrum, so that the appearance of them is completely justified. The human body contains only 4 minerals: apatite, aragonite, calcite and cristobalite. A real passionate kiss causes the same chemical reactions in the brain that parachute jumps and gun shooting. From the moment of birth, 14 billion cells already exist in the human brain, and the number does not increase until death. On the contrary, after 25 years it is reduced by 100,000 a day. In a minute you spent reading the page, about 70 cells die. After 40 years, brain degradation accelerates dramatically, and after 50 neurons, nerve cells, shrink and the brain volume decreases. At birth in the body of a child, there are about 300 bones, in adulthood there are only 206. The right lung of man contains more air than the left. The adult person makes approximately 23,000 breaths and exhalations per day. The smallest cells in the body of a man are sperm cells. About 40,000 bacteria are in the human mouth. The human eye is able to distinguish 10 million color shades. The chemical compound responsible for the ecstasy of love, phenylethylamine, is present in chocolate. The human heart creates pressure, which is enough to raise blood to the level of the 3D floor. In a dream, a person burns more calories than watching a TV. Children grow faster in the spring. Every year, more than 2,000 lefties are killed because of errors in the operation of mechanisms designed for right-handed people. A person uses 17 muscles when smiling and 43 when frowning. At the age of 60, most people lose half their taste buds. During the flight in the plane, the speed of human hair growth doubles. 1% of people can see infrared radiation, and 1% ultraviolet one. If you are locked in a completely enclosed room, then you will die from carbon dioxide poisoning, and not because of a lack of air. According to statistics, only one person for 2 billion steps over the life threshold of 116 years. The average person speaks 4,800 words in 24 hours. The retina inside the eye covers about 1 square inch and contains 137 million photosensitive cells, 130 million rods for black and white vision and 7 million cones for color vision. Our eyes are always the same size from birth, but our nose and ears never stop growing. In the morning, the person is approximately 0.31 inches higher than in the evening. The muscles of focusing the eye move 100,000 times a day. To the muscles of the legs made the same cuts, you need to walk 50 miles a day. Coughing is an explosive charge of air that moves at a speed of up to 0.0385 miles per hour. According to German researchers, the risk of a heart attack is higher on Monday than on any other day of the week. Bone is 5 times stronger than steel. It is impossible to sneeze with your eyes open. Ingrown nails are a hereditary trait. A normal person will die from a complete lack of sleep faster than from hunger. Death will occur in about 10 days without sleep, while from hunger, in a few weeks. The average life expectancy is 2,475,576,000 seconds. For the life we say on average 123,205,750 words, we have sex for 239 times. To get cute dimples on the cheeks, it is not necessary to resort to surgery. For this, there are special exercises. If you're a female and you feel like your heart beats quicker than your male counterparts, you're not wrong. Women's hearts are proven to beat faster than men's. As well as having faster heartbeats, women blink twice as much as men as well. Around 70% of people tilt their heads to the right rather than the left when kissing somebody else. Humans are able to smell rain better than sharks can smell blood. It's not just your cheeks that turn red and expose your embarrassment when you're blushing. Your stomach also turns red, but not many people will notice this. Fingerprints are unique to each person, making them an amazing phenomenon. Adding to this is the fact that they're developed within just 3 months of conception, meaning you were totally unique from the start. During the average lifetime, your heart will pump a grand total of 182 million liters of blood.